me when you're recording because I'm like in a weird mood.
Carl! Sorry, I'm done.
That kills people!
Hi guys, welcome back to another
I'm so sorry.
Hi guys, welcome back to another discussion video. Just a heads up, Sam is very sleep deprived right
I am
now.
not sleep deprived. I
Yes,
have
you
been
are.
reading and watching funny things on the internet, and I have been exposing Morgan to them. And
And
now
I
we
love
have
it.
watched them, and I am still like happy on the inside. It warms my inside to laugh.
Of course. But also Sam's sleep deprived, so please be aware of that. I'm a little bit tired. I had first time in like maybe 7 years I had a cup of coffee. So I'm a little bit wired right now. It was 3 sips.
And let
So
just for perspective, Morgan's like under 5 feet tall. She's tiny.
yeah. So when I drink coffee,
She's like a little goblin.
yeah. Yeah. Remember how I used to drink energy drinks at school and I used to be so hyped up and I'd run up and downstairs and then I'd crash and I'd fall asleep in a corner. That was my
And
life.
yeah, because I'd have to come wake you up in the damn corner.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
Okay.
so maybe I am a little sleep deprived because I was watching. Nah, it has nothing to do with K dramas. Shocking! I watched something that's not K drama
K-pop?
related. No,
Oh,
I was watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. It was so good.
I was thinking about watching that. Is it good?
It's so good.
Oh, is it scary though?
No,
The
it's just weird. And it's not really weird. Like, it's kind of scary. Like, the United States is kind of in a weird place with like its female rights right now,
mm,
especially with our president, the Cheeto, and because everybody already knows how I feel about him.
mm-hmm.
And basically, it's about like it's set in 2015, but like for the near future. And like women have no jobs, they have no rights, they have like nothing. They've been stripped their full property of their husbands, and then they become property of the state because some of them can have babies and others can't because there's a fertility issue. And the ones who are fertile become handmaidens, and basically they're there to birth children for the wealthy families to keep the human race going, but like they have no rights whatsoever.
That's bullshit. It
But
seems really
like the
interesting.
first 3 episodes are already up on Hulu, and it's really, really good. And we're not sponsored. I binge watched all 3 of them last
Yeah,
night
we have
until
like
midnight
25 subscribers. There's no way we'd be sponsored.
by Hulu. So this is just my own opinion.
Yes.
So if you are a Korean trying to learn English and you want something provocative to watch, go watch that. If you're English and you want something provocative to watch, go watch it. But we are here to discuss Radiant Office episode 13.
13. Lucky 13. Now,
Yeah.
I'll quickly give you a quick recap of what happened in episode 12, or at least the ending, and then Sam, do you want to start off in episode 13 after I'm done?
Sure.
So, to give you guys a quick recap of what happened in episode 12, if I can remember, because it was last week and I have a brain of a hamster. Basically, what happened was, the doctor decided to come in after the CEO got fired, and the reason why the CEO got fired is because basically Manager Park messed something up, and the doctor used his basically power to get the CEO or the director fired from the company, and basically the director, I found out is a director, not a CEO, by the way, or I guess you could call him CEO, but he comes back and he throws a huge hissy fit and he screams out like, you're gonna get fired too. And Woojin's so adorable because he goes over and like comforts him. But then later on in the episode, you have Manager Park who basically thinks that he's going to be taking over this high part of the company. But of course the doctor walks in and the doctor's like, hey, I know that you're gonna get comfortable here, so I'm gonna rock some things up and I'm gonna take over this position, even though I'm a doctor and I'm not a businessman whatsoever. Yeah, I'm gonna take over this position. I also do want to mention though, before I give it off to you, Sam, that also the fact that J-Ho, Jamin, not Jamin, Jae-young found out that Kai-Tak and Gina were dating. Also, I think that's about it. And then, do you want to start off on episode 13?
Yeah, so now we find out that the doctor is the CEO dude, and that kind of throws everybody off, but I'm not shocked because that's the way the thing was going. I'm sorry, I'm kind of in a weird mood right now. I apologize. Anyway, so basically, Doctor is now CEO, businessman, which he has no reason to be, and he ends up getting into end up going into a meeting, um, and he's Manager Park, who's like the total kiss ass, for lack of a better word,
Pretty
just starts
much.
like, yeah, he just starts like sucking up to him almost immediately, which I mean he has been the whole time, but now it's kind of like over, like way overboard. And Woojin's kind of like he's annoyed. He's always like annoyed, and he's I love Woojin. He's just like, you know what? I am me, and that is the way it is, and I don't care what position you're in. I am going to tell you if something's wrong. And I can't remember if it was this early in the episode or not, but basically he starts talking about how he wants to bring back like the higher end line
Yeah, it's this
of
one.
I can't remember if it was this early. I think it is this early. So he starts talking about wanting to bring back the higher end line of their furniture. And Woojin's like, it doesn't make any sense. You don't know what you're talking about, which it's not like he was being like criticizing.
No, he's telling the
He's
truth.
telling the facts. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't talked to anybody about this. He needs to learn the company and where they are right now instead of trying to like start new stuff. And the Doctor, now CEO, is just like, well, I'm in charge, so that's what we're gonna do. And I'm like, that's messed up. You know, like he's going to single-handedly sink his own father's company after wanting to be in this position so bad. Like, you need to learn your job
Well,
before.
I also think because of the fact that he's basically in that position because he's like, he wants to show his dad he can do it, but he's doing it in such a rush way. It's like you haven't been to school for business, you don't know how the company works, and you're using more of your emotions than you are using your brains.
Right.
So, later on, Hwe-Hyun is talking to Kai-Tak and Hwan, and they're talking about how uh, now that the doctor is the new director or CEO, that Hwan's gonna be able to basically get the job, get the permanent job, because they're all like gonna get evaluated for this permanent job, and only one of them is going to get hired. But Hwan, sorry, I feel like I'm too close to this mic. Sorry, I keep on hearing my my air hitting the
Mhm.
mic. Sorry. Um, Hwan basically tells them, "Well, listen, I basically blackmailed the doctor, and I don't think I'm on his like nice list." So she basically tells them that they all have a fair chance, and she really thinks she's actually not going to get a job if it's up to the doctor because of the way that she's been treating him,
Right.
which
And,
sucks.
but it is what it is. I mean, I know she would be happy if Kang Ho and Kai Tak both got the jobs. Like, she's not going to stand in their way if that eventually, like, if either one of them gets picked, she's not going to be upset,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And on top of that, like I like the fact that um or no, I don't like the fact, I'm sorry. Another thing I want to add is that I know we didn't mention it, but the CEO slash the director, I'm just calling him CEO, I'm sorry. Um his points count for 50% of their grade.
Which is
So, yeah,
crazy.
that's a
Like,
lot of
he knows
power.
nothing about their job performance. Nothing.
No, I think Woojin went to if I don't I feel like Woojin went to him and said something about having uh not having him grade the temporary hires. But I don't remember if that actually happened or if it happened in my mind. Because sometimes I'll watch dramas and be like, that'd be really good if it happened, and I think it happens. But I know that I think Woojin is not going to get along with the Doctor whatsoever throughout this episode and the next couple episodes because I feel like the Doctor is someone that Woojin definitely does not like, someone who gets hired on connections because obviously he's there because of his father, not because of the fact that he deserves to be up there.
I really think Woojin's going to be the one that ends up cleaning up his messes, too.
I think so too.
Like,
Um,
he's going to get himself into some corner somewhere. We got, what, after there's 3 episodes left. The doctor's going to put himself into a corner because, I mean, everything this whole episode is saying is like, this is a really bad idea. We
eh,
shouldn't be doing this. It's going to fail. and they keep pushing forward with it, even though like all the signs are there. This is not gonna work, and Woo-Jin's gonna have to save them, which then I'll be happy about.
Yes.
So.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that I love? Okay, so I feel like there are three couples in this show.
Mm-hmm.
There is Woojin, Hwan, Kai-tak, and Gina, and then Seok-han and Kang-ho. And like the fact that like the next couple episodes, you had Hwan or Woojin basically try and cheer up Hwan and basically be like, "Hey, you escaped. Like, think you were dead. You made it this far. Don't give up." And then you had like Gina basically telling Kai-tak like, "You know the CEO's son. Like, get close to him and like become friends with him and like And then also she was also talking about getting gifts for all the other managers, and she's like, "I'll take care of this person." But I think
yeah, but not Woojin, because like Woojin doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's like, don't get anything Woojin, because Woojin, she's like, I don't even know what to do with the Woojin. Seok-han basically tells Hwan, I remember, she basically tells him later on to not get bullied and to stand up for himself, which I really appreciate. And like the fact that all of them are pretty much, they're not that they're together, it's just that you can tell they're making bonds within the company.
Right, and now like one of them has to be chosen for the permanent position, and two people's hearts are going to be like broken. And I'm like, I like the further like the because it from all the way this is all being set up, like someone's being picked.
Yes.
By the end of this episode, someone was being picked.
Yes.
And I'm just like, the more I'm watching it, the closer I see them getting, I'm like, my heart is breaking for all of them because only one person's going to be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, who's going to have their heart broken? Like, oh, you know what? Like, the way it's being set up, I would rather, like, have Kang-ho kind of... I'd rather see Kang-ho get the job, honestly. Yeah. For qualifications-wise, I think he has the best. He has the best qualifications. If we're going sappy romance, I would say Hwan. Especially with your theory of Kai-tak being sick, like, it wouldn't make sense for him. And I don't really think Kai-tak ever had a chance, honestly, to getting the job. Sad. Which is sad, because I really like him. He's like a little puppy, but I really don't think he ever had the chance. I think he was just kind of there on, like, I don't think he was just there, but like job-wise, I don't think he ever had a chance, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Also, I love the fact that Seok-han went to go talk to the doctor and at like the hospital, and she was giving him reports, and how the doctor was like, "These are not any of the reports that Manager Park has given me in the past," and he's like, "Well, I'm not surprised that he changed things up so he can like we could be in favor or he could look good." And
yeah, he could impress me.
And so you can definitely tell that the doctor is already done with Manager Park. He's like trying to push him off to the side. He's more interested now in Seok-han because he can see that Seok-han can give him more of an advantage in the company. So he's trying to be like, "Hey, I will do nice things for you if you stand by my side."
Which is, she's kind of in a weird push-pull. I mean, she has to think about her daughter, and she has to think about making sure she has her job and everything. But then you're also saying, well, what does my gut feeling say? My gut would say this is a bad idea, but my responsibilities would say I kind of have no choice.
I kind of feel like she's going to be the whistleblower in a way. Like, I kind of feel like she's...
Yeah, I could see that happening.
You don't think she's really bad, but then it's going to change, and you're actually going to see she, like, blew the whistle, or she's doing something to help Woo-Jin out. There's a scene, Sam, I really want you to talk about, because there's the same scene that happened in 1% of anything or something, and
1% I feel like something.
You should talk about it because you're the one that got me into that drama.
Oh, where someone broke into the house.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like you didn't have to tell me. I actually had I was thinking about that. So Eun-Hwan comes home and her like door is like the handle is all kinds of like messed up and stuff. And her friend has already told her she's not home. She's going out drinking with friends. And she realizes all the lights are on. And she's like, why are the lights on? So she runs downstairs, and who happens to be there? Shocking. But Woo-Jin, he's waiting. He's like right there outside her apartment, which is like total creeper status. But whatever. We'll look past this. And so he's like, what? Actually, no, he was driving by. He was just coming home. And he goes... like, why is she running? And so he's like, well, what's going on? And she's like, someone broke into my house. And so you sent the man who is afraid of a kitty cat into your house to go defend your house. I'm like, are you freaking
Exactly.
kidding me?
I love the fact that he would like he had that broom and he was like pushing it underneath that table like that like the where people like you eat food, but it's not even like a regular table. It's like you sit on the floor to eat off the table. I'm like, who's gonna hide underneath that table?
Well, the thing about it, it
What?
cracked me up. Like at first, that he was trying to grab whatever that water bottle was over, and like it took him 2 tries to realize he can't lift it.
Yes,
Like
because he's like,
that's not coming up, and then he's like waving around like a bat almost, so like he can get Hwe-Hyun to give him something to like beat him up with. Which that stick looks like it would hit someone and break in half in 10 seconds.
let's face it, okay? Ho-Won wears the man pants in this relationship. Why are you sending Woojin in when Woojin, every time there's a cat around, Woojin loses his shit and screams like a little girl?
Oh my
Why are
gosh.
you?
I'm like, he's afraid of a cat meow. Like, why are you sending him in? He is scaredy pants.
So the same thing like this happened in 1% of, I want to say 1% of something, but I'm pretty sure it's like,
Yeah, it's 1% of something.
is it? I always call it 1% of anything, and I always get the title wrong. But I love that drama. But the same, this Woojin's character or actor. The actor who plays Woojin actually was in that drama too. And there's a scene where the house got broken into, and it's so interesting to see the same actor who played the other role go into the house all scared because in 1% of something, if I remember right, he was very like, he went in, kind of looked a little bit, and then like he wasn't scared. And so
Right,
it's really
but his
interesting to
character in this one's like all set up to be like a total
yeah.
scaredy
And
pants.
but it's interesting too because this character and his other character are very alike in some aspects where they're in the beginning they're very like businessman, mean and
And then they
work.
start to soften up like a
Yeah.
marshmallow.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved seeing those two scenes, and I thought it was hilarious the fact that he went in there. He's like, "I'm gonna protect you. I'm just kidding." And then when the guy comes and he does the locks, and Woojin's like, "Give her 2 locks," and everyone's like, "I'm fine."
Just give her 2 locks. Well, I like that. The nice thing, like, what this scene gave us was time alone with them.
Which we have
And
not been
when they
getting.
were sitting there and drinking coffee, and Hwan's like, it's such a nice view, and he does the ultimate cliche thing. And this happens in American TV shows too. This is not just Korean, where he looks at her and goes like, yes, it's really pretty, or I agree, or whatever. But
Yes,
he's
he's
not
like,
looking at the view. He's looking at the girl, and I'm like, oh mush. I'm so mushed right now.
can
I'm
that
like, I
happen in
don't
real
even
life?
care. It's adorable because we haven't gotten real emotion like at all. Like, a little bit of jealousy, kind of soft parts. We haven't gotten like him to like outwardly say his feelings, and so this is kind of our first like outward feelingness. And I was like, mush.
But I also think that it's kind of going off of not. I mean, not going off. I'm sorry. I kind of have this thought though today. I don't know what I was talking about for a minute there. I'm sorry. I zoned out for a minute and I kept on talking, and I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? I was thinking about like if this was real life, this would be kind of bad to be in a relationship with your boss.
Right, but this is TV,
TV and
so
it's
it's
romantic, it's
adorable. Like,
cute. But so I like the scene. I like the scene though later on when Woojin goes home and they are texting each other, and Woojin's like, "Make sure you check the doors and the windows. He locks everything." And Hoon's like, "God, he's more worried than me. Like he's just a worry wart." And I love it. But I thought it was really cute how he's like sending her like these really adorable text messages of like making sure that she's okay. And although Hwan thinks it's silly, she does like think, it does make her happy in a way.
right. So then Woojin is now updating the like hiring
Right.
criteria or whatever. And at the same time, Manager Park is in CEO So, that's what I will call him now, CEO So's office. And he's trying to like show him like how to run the system and everything. And I kind of saw this coming when he started talking about like accepting and rejecting and everything. That when Woojin sent off his proposal, Manager Park, showing CEO So how to do this, accidentally approves the new hiring criteria that Woojin's been trying to push through. And he's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was like a fake thing to show, like kind of like a tutorial kind of deal,
Yes.
but it was the real deal. And his whole spiel about how like it takes forever for people to get back and it goes through the ranks so fast. And Woojin's like, what is going on? And Manager Park can slowly see everything he's been trying to do kind of being unraveled a little bit.
Yes.
Oh my god,
And
I was like, this is the best.
he definitely made a mistake though when he was like, "Oh, they probably accept it so fast because you're the chairman's son." And the look the doctor gave was like, "What?" Like
Yeah, you
he's
just like shoved your foot in your mouth, dude.
yeah, pretty much. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then the doctor was like, go away." But the good thing though is now there's different guidelines for them to get hired, which is
Right.
good. But we also had a situation where since one of the evaluations is basically they're gonna be evaluated by all their peers, like the managers and deputies and stuff like that. So Kang Ho and Kai Tak want to take Young Jae, the annoying Young Jae, out to dinner to like gain favor for him because obviously Gina's gonna grade Kai Tak good, Sukhan's gonna grade Kang Ho good, but then you have Young Jae
Hmm.
who probably won't grade them any of them good. So they decide to treat him out to extensive dinner, and Hwan is really against this because she feels like that this is they should be judged on who they are at work, not how much money they spend on their coworkers.
Right.
And so Kang-ho basically snaps at her and was like, "Listen, like if I have to do this to get a job, I will do this." And I like the nice thing about this is we understand Kang-ho's and Kai-Tek's, even Ho-won's reasons of why they want this job,
Right.
which is
Yeah,
nice.
we know their motivations
No,
behind
I
it.
mean, before when Kang-ho like snapped at her in like earlier episodes where I don't remember what, oh they were supposed to take like sell stuff. We couldn't understand Kang-ho's reason for him snapping, but now we realize like the reason why he's snapping is so he can have his family back, even though they obviously don't deserve it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like, luckily for them, because Wingnut, who's evil, is like shoving his face full
Oh
of
my
food.
God, that was so
Um,
disgusting.
oh, he was so gross. I was like, ugh. But it happens that Seok-Young is actually at the exact same restaurant that they are, and she was nice enough. She paid for the meal, so they weren't out the money, which was really, really nice.
Yeah, which is so adorable because the fact that when Hwan or not oh darn it sorry when Kang
Kang
Ho
Ho.
Kang Ho sorry Hoya
Oh my god. Yeah.
I can't help
If you
myself.
go back, I don't know, like if anybody wants to go look back at every single thumbnail for Radiant Office, because this will be put into a playlist, Hoya will be in every single one of our thumbnails. Just so you know, it has nothing to do with the couple whatsoever. It is
Nope,
all
nope, it's just
Hoya.
you Hoya. You know it. You know it. You know it. You know it. It will be. But you notice the last one episode, Hoya wasn't in the center. He was in the corner.
Yeah, I
So
know. You finally put Hoya in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Hoya doesn't belong in the corner. No, just kidding.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
um.
Bonus points if you know the reference.
Yes, yes. So I like the fact that when Kango went to go talk to Sukhan, I like the fact that Sukhan once again told him not to be bullied and stuff like that. I like that conversation. I like the fact that she's looking out for him because she knows he's qualified and she knows that he's good. And I like we don't really know how qualified he is though. We do know he did really good on his it's like TE talk testing, which I'm not really quite sure because it's a Korean test. I'm not really quite sure what that is. Maybe it's like
Oh, the TOEIC?
yeah, that I'm not really quite sure.
It's a test of English
Okay, listen.
competency.
Okay, Hoya is definitely not his character because Hoya cannot speak English whatsoever because he went on a show and he was like, they were like, yeah, you're gonna have to speak English here. And he was like, can I talk in a British accent? And then he's on the show and he's like trying to tell like Dong-Woo next to him, he's like, you have you have Jolie lips. Like, no, Hoya, stop talking English. Like,
Hoya, stop. Just go back to Korea and do what you do well.
yes, just start
We'll figure
dancing.
you out. Like,
Yes,
come on.
yes. I mean, yes.
You know what? I give any Korean like
Oh
110%
yeah.
props if they're trying to learn the
Oh
English
no.
language because we're trying to learn the Korean language and failing
Yeah.
epically. Well, at least I am.
And don't think that I'm like bashing on Hoya for speaking English, because that's not who I am whatsoever. And I'm just like making fun of the fact that Hoya, as a person, he's very sassy and very like. Well, I mean, I do know that he's very sassy, but I know he's also very introverted too in some aspects. I feel like I know him, but I don't. I don't know him. I just watch a lot of variety shows and watch a lot of interviews, but he's just very like sassy, and I just think it's funny that he's very much like, I can talk in a British accent, and then when he gets on stage, he's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just go with it. But yeah, don't ever think I'm making fun of someone for trying to learn a new language, because honestly, I suck at learning new languages, and Sam knows I suck at new languages.
Yeah, we both decided to take Spanish together so we could both speak Spanish. And guess who finished Spanish?
And guess who fell asleep in class constantly?
So,
Me. And guess who's Mexican? Me.
not me.
Uh, so yeah, don't think we're making fun of someone for their languages.
Oh God, no.
Obviously, no, that's not what we're gonna do here whatsoever. So
No,
don't.
like it's hard. You know what? Because you have to reset your mind, especially Koreans learning English and vice versa. I won't say English, but people who have the Romanized alphabet trying to learn the Korean alphabet, like you
It's
have to
hard.
retrain your mind to look at new symbols and associate sounds and then associate words with them and then figure out the grammar. And that is freaking hard. That is so hard. Your brain is not like willing to accept that these symbols mean something. They look like kid drawings. And then you're like, no, but that's an actual language.
Yeah,
So much respect for anybody who speaks two different languages and their alphabets aren't even like one's Romanized, the other one's in Hangul
exactly.
or kanji or Mandarin or whatever. Like,
Whatever. Exactly.
good for you.
Exactly. Okay, so back to the drama. There's a scene where it really pissed. Like I was like really confused with Hwan, where she walks in to get coffee, and then Kai-tak and Kang-ho were there, and Kang-ho was like, "Let me make you coffee," and Hoya was like, "No," and Kai-tak's like, he makes the best coffee," because they think that she's pissed at him, but in reality, she's like, "No, just kidding. We're here because they're actually doing their valuations, which they go to do." And Young Jae gives Hwan zeros, and every category gives Kang Ho the most points. Of course, Gina gives Kai-tak the high score, and then she also gives Kang Ho and Hwan a really high score too, but they're like slightly lower, of course. I don't think we get to see what Kai-tak does. We know that
We'd have to assume Woojin gave Hoan pretty decent scores too.
yeah. So, but basically, we get to where basically they find out that Hwan has less points than everyone else, but it's basically up to the doctor to basically decide what's going to happen. He's basically in charge of basically choosing who he wants to win, because he has 50% of the votes, which is
Which is still freaking crazy.
stupid. Yeah.
So now they have to like sell themselves like somehow, which I thought was going to be more of like stand up in front and like say like who they are and like what they can bring to the company and their personalities. But it ended up being more like PowerPoint presentations
Yes.
that they
Yes.
just sent off with like zero personality whatsoever. That's why I loved Howan's
No,
presentation.
I no. You get well. High-tech has some emotions in it, because he did well. Okay, so I feel like Hwan's very like, I feel like Hwan's whole life is kind of sad in a way. Does that make sense? Like, where she had to
Hmm.
do something very like kind of like sad-ish, because it is very sad to get go through 100 companies, or 101. I'm not sure, 100 or 101, before you get getting accepted into the company. I understand that. And I do think that it was nice to see the fact that, okay, for anyone who's confused, basically Hwan put together all her basic cover letters in a way, or her
Hmm.
self introduction letters, into a binder that she gave to everyone, and it basically was her story of trying to find a job, which was really cute. And then Kai-tech did a bunch of family photos and videos, which honestly was very cute. But if I want to hire someone for a job, it's like, I want to know about what you can do. And One and hers is pretty much talking about herself, but also promoting herself. Well, King Ho basically puts up a like risk assessment PowerPoint thing, where he talks about like, where here's my weaknesses, here's where I do amazing in. Also, before we get too ahead of ourselves, I like the fact that they were all kind of fighting in a way, like where Hoan or Kai-tak was asking King-Ho how he's doing, and then and King-Ho was like, "Oh no, I'm not. I didn't do anything for this," and he turns off his like the computer screen, and
Right.
Kai-tak is like,
Well,
"I will beat you up."
I get that they're friends, but at the same time, they kind of have to put themselves first.
Yeah, but the one thing I do like though is that in the end of it, they come back to becoming friends. There's like
Right.
they sometimes they fight, sometimes they disagree, but no matter what, they will always basically be friends, and they always like come back to each other, and that's why I like this Korean drama like a lot. Well, not a lot, but like I enjoy it because the fact that when they have friends, and these friends are not. I don't necessarily say that Kai-tak and Kang-ho are like the typical K drama best friend whatsoever
Hmm.
that that's in like basically one episode or three episodes. They have their own storyline, they have their own plot line, and on top of that, they they don't fall into the shadow of the main leads, which I
Right.
appreciate. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed them. Also, Woojin basically is thinking about quitting too because he doesn't want to be under the doctor. He doesn't want to be in this company that's run by someone who is basically brought in because of connections. But basically, and also Gaiden warns him and basically tells him like, don't do this, don't run away from that company. But basically, Woojin's pretty much like convinced that he cannot work for the doctor. But later on, when they go to read their stuff and go through their stuff, uh, Woojin basically looks at his letter, and he basically just decides to not get rid of to not basically resign and stuff like that. Do you want to talk about what happened after the evaluations?
Uh, so actually, I'm glad you clarified that because I honestly thought he was looking at Hwan's um letter saying she was leaving.
No, it was his, yeah.
Okay, I thought that was her letter the whole time, honestly. So,
That he just kept
like,
it.
I was like, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I was kind of like, I was like, oh, he has his letter and like he's looking or her letter and he's looking back and forth. Okay, so that makes more sense now. Okay, like things make sense. So, like after like the evaluations are done, it's kind of like it's up to CEO. So, Hoan and Woojin end up going out to get drinks. Finally, like they have an outing that's social and not like, oops, I ran into you all of a sudden because it was an accident.
Yeah, not
Um,
really an accident.
and she admits that she likes someone and he's not even freaking paying attention.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, no, she was going to confess. We were going to have a confession finally, and then, like, nothing.
Yeah, but
And so he's like,
I love how he's like, what? And she's like, oh, I like soju, give me another
yeah, let's get another
bottle,
bottle of soju. And
another
he's like, well, what
bottle.
did you see? And she's like, the cat behind you. And, like, he freaks out. And I'm like, oh my
Can
god.
someone just buy him a kitten, please?
I
Just buy
want
him
her
a
to buy him.
kitten.
I will buy him a kitten, and I will put a little bow on it, and I will leave it in the house for him to find.
Yes. Yes. So we get to the end of that episode, and Young Jae is basically rubbing it in that Ho-won is not going to be hired, and he's like, you're gonna reap what you sow, and she's like, well, why don't we reap what we sow together? And I'm like, ooh, like blackmail him because I think if I remember right, Ho-won has dirt on Young Jae too. If I remember right, I don't remember. But basically, Young Jay in past episodes, he basically took money from a subcontractor too. But in the end of it, uh, Woojin comes out of his office and he tells them that not one person is gonna get hired, but two.
Dun dun dun!
No!
Na na
And that
na!
was the end of the episode.
And then I'm like, oh, who's gonna be? And you know what? I was like, okay, Kang Ho and who? Basically, is what I'm saying.
Well, I honestly thought it wasn't gonna be. I honestly think it was like it's not gonna be Howon because of the fact that I feel like Howon will come back. But if it's Kai Tech, well, if it makes sense if it's Kai Tech because once again, Howon has Woojen and that's a love interest and blah 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 blah. King is the most qualified to be there, but
Right, and if Woojin hands in his resignation letter, then Ho-won ends up finding where he works by happenstance for the third time, and then he just hires her anyway because whatever. So that would like be the best case scenario in all of this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I do think that Kai-Tek's sick because I don't know. I just find that whole thing is weird. The fact that the doctor like freaked out and was like, "Are you sick?" Blah blah. Like, not are you? How are you feeling? Oh, you should go to my hospital before we close and stuff like that. I just think it's weird. Um, Also, though, I'm really upset that it's gonna be two of them because like before it was like okay, one person, I get it, two people are gonna be disappointed and sad, but those two people can basically like cheer each other up and be like, hey, it's just us. But if it's one person,
Hmm.
ouch, and that one person has to work with them until their contract's up.
I know. Oh, like I don't know. I'm like I know the next episode's already up, so I'm like ready to watch it once it's all set. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Kang Ho's gonna be one. Like I know that off the bat. Like no question in my mind. It's just Kang Ho and who.
Yes. Another thing though is I really want to know like the doctors. I don't know. The doctor confuses me because in the beginning of the season, or not season, yeah, I guess season, he was very much like a good guy.
Hmm.
He seemed like a good guy, but now it's like a 180, and now he's the villain, and he has privilege, and he has money, and he can do whatever he wants, and blah blah. It's a
And
hard
everybody's like
villain.
not really caring that his father is still like comatose.
Yes, and it's just like it's just like, if you mean Manager Park the villain, I could believe that. But you're making someone who I loved in the beginning a villain is very like much like 180. It's like take Chow Tae-ho, okay? We all know Chow Tae-ho in the beginning of Missy Nine was kind of a
Chaote
D-bag.
psychopath.
Yes. And towards the end of it, towards the middle of it, he was a D-bag. And it wasn't like surprising, but I mean, it wasn't like in your face. It was like subtle hints of like he's not really nice. But with the
Right. And
doctor,
like I know there's been TV shows too where like it starts out like they're the really good guy. So like for instance in Scarlet Heart, because like we all know my obsession with that. Like Wong-wook,
obsessed.
he was this nice little fluffy marshmallow, but the character developed him into being this really bad guy. And it made sense. There was motivation behind it.
Who?
Wong-wook, the eighth prince, the one she lived with, and then he ended up like turning evil.
Oh yeah, yes, yes.
So like in the beginning it made sense. He was like super marshmallowy and sweet and kind and he really liked Hae-Soo. And then like as time progressed, like the character development made sense.
Yeah. But I
This
don't
came out of freaking nowhere. I don't
yeah.
understand.
I don't like it
I
either.
don't see his motivation, honestly, other than like
His
he's had a
father.
bad childhood, so he has daddy issues.
Yes.
But um but I'm just like I'm really sad that there's been a lot of storyline well, not a lot, but there's been quite a few storylines that have been dropped. Number one, Ho-Won's relationship with her mother.
Yep, that needs to get fixed.
Like the brother was in the hospital at the beginning. We don't know why. Like what was wrong? Like why was he in the hospital? Like why wasn't he saying that the mother was in the hospital? And then all of a sudden the mom shows up and she's fine and we have no idea what her issues are. And she ends up having a fight with her mother. And then like her mother gets off into a taxi. I don't remember if she ever like actually made up with her mom,
Kind of, not really.
but nothing was ever said about it again.
Nope. I feel like that needs to be fixed. Kang Ho and his mom needs to get fixed. We need to figure out who's actually flipping sick. Because if we get to the end of the drama and no one's sick,
I'm
I
gonna be
will pissed.
pissed.
Because of the fact that this is a whole premise of this drama is that
This
she's
is the whole reason
sick.
we almost didn't pick this too.
Yeah, because I remember we were going through our like the drama list, and I mentioned it, and you were like, "Well, I don't want to watch a drama where someone dies," and I was like, "Well, it looks kind of fluffy," and I was like, "I kind
Well,
of
that's
like,
because we actually watched the preview to it.
yeah," and but yeah, it's so annoying. I just want to know who's sick, and if it's Kai-Tak, the doctors should get sued because the fact that he knows something's wrong, but he's not saying something.
Yeah, because that affects his life, and there's damages, and it's a whole thing. But it's a K drama.
Yeah, what do you
But
expect? Before we end this, I want to mention two things that I've been meaning to mention, but I keep on forgetting to mention. One, I think some of the music in this drama is very beautiful, like especially the instrumental parts of the
mhm.
drama. And it reminds me a lot of Howl's Moving Castle. There's a lot of times where I'm listening to the music and I'm just like, wow, Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know if you picked that up yet. Picked that
No,
song?
because I've it's been so long since I've watched Howl's Moving Castle, but I really like the soundtrack of this. I was actually thinking about that because I was going to go look it up later.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Another thing is, what's up with the energy drink promos?
Oh, I know, right? Is that Gatorade or something that they're drinking?
No, it's like a shot energy shot thingy that looks like, and Kang-ho, I mean not Kang, darn it, Hoya keeps on having to drink it and be like, ah, ah,
I know, right? Because I was
like
like, well, I see the giant G on it. I just associate G with Gatorade. So
yeah, they did it in this episode. They did it like I
they've
think.
done it in quite a few episodes, like where like they were like moving the
And it's awkward.
couches.
It's awkward because like they film while he's opening it. So it's like if like there's one episode when they're like you were saying they're moving stuff around, furniture around, and Kang-ho went to go open or yeah, Kang-ho's Hoya's character went to go open the bottle, and it's just like he couldn't get it, and they still filmed and finally he got it and drank it, and it was like 3 or 4 seconds of just awkwardness, and I was like, I like when promos are added in where I'm like, oh, that's a product, not a big deal. I don't like when promos are thrown into my face like it is in this drama every 2 seconds.
Like
And
Subway. We haven't
like
watched them eat Subway yet.
yep, it probably is gonna happen. It's happened in Descendants of Sun, Goblin, Mystery Me, so many other dramas. Every time you see a Subway in a drama, you should have to do a shot of orange juice because you guys are probably all 12.
Oh, let's give her. Well, I actually haven't looked at our analytics in forever, so we don't
Yeah.
know. We
But
apologize for the language if any of you are under the age of like 15.
oh, should I beep these? Maybe I'll beep some stuff out. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's fine.
Anyways, you guys, we hope you enjoyed that. We hope you enjoyed this discussion video. And oh, sorry,
We'll see
Sam.
you
Did
next one.
did you need to say anything?
No, because my husband's coming up the stairs.
Okay.
All right.
We gotta go. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hey guys, what's up? We hope you enjoyed that discussion video because we enjoyed making it. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. If you liked it, you hit that like button. We make videos every Tuesday and Sunday, and we will see you soon.